Pajashig, welcome. Welcome to our unceded, unsurrendered Algonquin territory. Manik Manach and Dishnakas, Algonquins from Barrier Lake and Dochaba. My name is Manik Manach, and I'm a member of the Algonquins of Barrier Lake. And I have to say, I'm so honored to be here today with you. This is an amazing victory for you. This is such a huge accomplishment to be able to graduate in the year of a pandemic where all of your classes have been online and where you've been isolated and alone and unable to interact with your fellow students and with your teachers in the way that we're used to doing and in a way that can actually open things up as far as learning. And so congratulations. This is just, it's so very amazing. I know I have trouble with online courses, so I can imagine other people do too. And to be able to get through it all and to graduate, I think is such a huge accomplishment. And I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about what people are facing during this pandemic and what we're going to continue to face at least for the next little while. And it reminded me of a story that we have in our community, so I'd like to share that with you. The Creator had decided to give all of creation the gift of light. And so everybody got together, all the plants, all the animals, all the trees, all the insects, all the birds, all the fish, everybody, the humans, everybody got together to talk about, well, how are we going to take care of this gift? How are we going to make sure that it's protected and taken care of? And so they talked about it and talked about it, and there was this little mouse, and this little mouse, she said, oh, I have an idea. But of course, you know, bears are big and moose are big and people are big, and so they couldn't hear her. So they kept talking, and somebody said, why don't we put it way up in the sky? Nobody will get it there. So they thought about it, and they talked about it, and they talked about it, until finally, you know, somebody said, it could be that someday someone can go way up into the sky and take our gift of light. So they thought, yeah, that's true. We better not put it there. And then someone else said, well, why don't we put it deep into the ocean? And they thought, oh, that's an idea. So they talked about it, and they thought about it, and they talked about it some more. In the meantime, this little mouse, you know, she kept trying. She kept, you know, I have an idea. But of course, nobody could hear her because she's a little tiny mouse. And finally, somebody said, well, you know, maybe someday someone might be able to go deep into the ocean, and they might be able to take our gift of light. So they thought about it some more and talked about it some more, and then finally there was that little lull. You know how the room goes quiet sometimes? And into that lull, the mouse, she kept trying, you know, and she said, I have an idea. And people heard her that time, and they said, well, oh, there you are. What's your idea, little mouse? And she said, let's everyone take a piece of the light and put it inside. Because that way, if somebody's light is failing, we can share ours, and so that they will have light again. And if we're feeling badly, then somebody can share their light with us. And that way, we'll never lose the light, because everybody will always have a little piece of it. And so that's what they did. And that's why animals and trees and birds and fish and insects and everything, plants, humans, we all have this little piece of light inside of us. It's our life. It's life. And when we see someone who their light is dimming, they're feeling badly, it's been too hard a row, that we can help them. We can share our light with them. And you know what? There's nothing that makes your own light burn brighter than when you share it with someone else. And even now, during this pandemic, when we're still in isolation, we can still share our light. We can still support each other. We can still help each other to be able to continue and to be able to finish what we need to finish. And so as you're moving forward, you're ending your time in high school, you're moving forward either into post-sec, or you're moving forward into work or into training or wherever your life takes you, you know that there are those around you who will share their light with you and with whom you can also share your light. So I'd like to open this space with just a few words to the Creator. Thank you, Creator. Thank you for the water, for the plants, for the trees, for the ones who fly, for the ones who swim, for the ones who crawl, for the furred, for the feathered, for the four-legged, and for the two-legged. And thank you for bringing everyone together here today with open hearts, with open minds. Help everyone to see beauty. Help us all to hear truth, and help us all to share our light with each other, and help keep each other buoyed up, and help keep each other full of life. Kachimigwich, 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 kachimigwich. Congratulations, you deserve this.
In honor and acknowledgement of the unsurrendered and unceded Algonquin land on which we gather for this 2021 commencement ceremony, let us also recognize Indigenous ceremonies conducted by the sovereign holders of these lands, the Indigenous people. May we honor both the land and the ancestral holders of the land, and recognize that the use of these lands today come as a result of the displacement of the land's original holders. Indigenous peoples belong to this place, a belonging that has not diminished despite a history and current reality of colonial habitation and perceived ownership, imposed through the laws and sanctions of colonial settlement and systems. Indigenous peoples continue to live and thrive in this place, holding the land and the traditions of the ancestors for the children who come after. The next generations of Indigenous children will also belong to the land and will be of this place that we recognize today as unceded and unsurrendered Algonquin land. Today, for this ceremony, we celebrate children who have brought us together to honor the gift they share with us through their expression and realization of their learning spirits. As we engage today in the celebration of graduates' successes in completing their secondary school career, we also recognize the historic use of educational institutions in Canada to assimilate Indigenous children into European culture. Let us pause today to acknowledge the truths about the impacts of intentional government education policies designed to erase Indigenous identity through loss of language, family, land, knowledge, culture, traditions, and also resulted in loss of life. Today we also mourn in anguish the lives of students who did not survive to return home from a residential school, nor reach a milestone such as today, marking graduation at a school commencement ceremony. Indigenous peoples teach us to honor ceremonies and traditions, and as we contemplate commencement ceremonies today, we will think about the important place that ceremonial traditions play in reflecting cultures, identities, and languages to honor students and families, because we know that identity matters. For Indigenous students, expressing identity and demonstrating spiritual connection may include wearing items of regalia, such as Inuit sealskin and ivory jewelry, First Nations jingle dresses, or Métis beaded vests and sashes, instead of, or in addition to, caps and gowns. The milestone of graduation may be marked by performances from Métis jiggers or Inuit throat singers, or there may be a drum dance or a round dance for some Indigenous students, in addition to the band playing Pomp and Circumstance, the receiving of diplomas, and the school traditions offered in celebration and honor of the class of 2021. In this land acknowledgement, let us renew the district commitment to decolonizing education, the commitment we make to landholders, Indigenous students and families in our schools and our school communities. Our commitment to value and respect Indigenous ways of knowing is foundational to Indigenous students feeling honored and successful in school, being who they are and recognized for what they bring and the lessons they teach us. Wherever we are on Turtle Island, we are in Indigenous space, and we understand that Indigenous peoples belong to the place and have an ancient and inseparable connection to it. On this unceded and unsurrendered Algonquin territory, on which our graduates learned in the OCDSB schools, let us recognize that Indigenous peoples deserve to feel an authentic belonging and connection in our schools too, and also in the many accomplishments that we celebrate today through this graduation ceremony.
Hello, my name is Camille Williams-Taylor. I'm the Director of Education for the OCDSB. I'm pleased to be able to have a moment to bring a few words of congratulations on behalf of the senior team. Graduation Day represents the culmination of years of planning, effort, work, excitement, and sometimes discomfort and worry. This special day represents the attainment of a goal that was set out for you on the first day of school and became a goal that you embraced as your own. Technically, your achievement today represents at least 30 credits, over 3,000 hours of work. Your achievement represents at least 20 hours of community service. It represents experiencing the arts, experiencing French and English, exploring sciences, applying mathematical thinking and reasoning. But that's just for starters. Your arrival at graduation represents collaborating and building a community of your peers and pursuing activities that piqued your interest. And let's not overlook the uphill climb that the last quarter of this journey represented. Over the last year, you continued to work, learn, network, engage while in isolation, on a screen, behind a mask, and at a distance. Essentially, the journey to this day represents a dynamic preparation for what is to come. And what is to come? You all know that you are embarking on your adult lives in a changed world. Some of you are quite certain about your plans. Others may be ambivalent, and I know that there are graduates who want to test the waters before they make up their minds. What I can tell you is that regardless of where you sit right now, the next steps are not clear-cut. You will discover opportunities that you never imagined and barriers that you did not know existed. You will have pleasant surprises, and you will encounter situations that will take you aback. And for this uncertain world, you, this class of graduates, are more prepared than most. You know how to be agile and resourceful. You have learned how to exercise patience in the face of ambiguity. You know how to stand up for yourselves and for each other. And most of all, you know that kindness, care, and community matter. As we congratulate you and send you off into the world as young adults brimming with energy and anticipation, I encourage you to draw from the real lessons that have brought you this far. Lesson 1, things are not always as they seem. Think, reserve judgment, ask a question. Lesson 2, collaborate and cooperate. There is so much to learn by drawing on the experiences and perspectives of other people. Lesson 3, seek joy. You have a long road ahead. Engagement and fulfillment are important. Lesson 4, imagine, invent, and create. Our society needs you now more than ever to chart new paths and develop new solutions. And lesson 5, value the people who love you. As you make new networks, be sure to stay in touch with those people who have walked alongside you in good times and when things got tough. Enjoy your success right now. Tomorrow, savor the memories. And then, get on with your next move. We can't wait to see what you'll do next. On behalf of the OCDSB leadership team, please accept our heartfelt congratulations and best wishes for the road ahead.
Hello and welcome to Sir Wilfrid Laurier's virtual commencement ceremony. I would like to thank parents, guardians, friends, and our special guests, in particular, Trustee Penny, for joining us today to celebrate this very important day for our Sir Wilfrid Laurier graduates. Congratulations, graduates of 2021. We are very proud of you. While I recognize that this isn't at all how you imagined your graduation ceremony, it's important to point out that graduation isn't just one day or one moment in time. Rather, it is a culmination of all that you have accomplished over the past 4 years. Think of today as the first day of the rest of your adult life and really celebrate it. The message that I would like to leave you with today is that life is about the journey, not the destination. So many times in our life, we are focused on our destination that we miss all the important moments along the way. Even when we reach where we're going, we do not really enjoy or savor the moment. Instead, we check that item off our list and we set our sights on our next destination. But what happens if we're unable to reach the destination that we had set our sights on? What do we do then? The answer? Never stop learning, never give up, be resilient. View the bumps in the road, the occasional disappointments, and the twists and turns that occur as life lessons. Slow down, reflect, reassess. Continue to do the work and never give up on your dreams. Wherever the next stage of your journey takes you, we offer you our best wishes for a happy, fulfilling future as graduates of Sir Wilfrid Laurier Secondary School. Always remember the qualities that made you a good Lancer: pride, hustle, and desire, and use them as you face roadblocks and overcome your obstacles. Wherever you go next, please come back and visit us when it is safe to do so, and share your future successes with us. My best wishes go with you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, graduates, families, and friends of the class of 21. My name is Keith Penny, and I'm your trustee for Orleans Cumberland. I would like to extend greetings from the board on the occasion of your graduation. As a school board trustee, I've had the unique privilege and honor of shaping the schools that you've attended. You've faced great adversity over the last 15 months and have had to adapt in ways you could not have imagined. Change was thrust upon you, and you have shown great resilience. Nevertheless, this is not the school experience you could have anticipated nor deserve, and that is regrettable. However, moving forward, the lessons you have learned will prove valuable no matter which path you choose. I believe we will all emerge from this stronger with a greater sense of what is truly important. I believe, because of your resilience and resolve, that our future could not be in better hands. In conclusion, I wish you all the best for the future and sincerely hope that our paths may cross in better days. Thank you.
Where there is error, let us bring truth. Where there is doubt, let us bring faith. Where there is despair, let us bring hope. Where there is darkness, let us bring light. St. Francis of Assisi. Hello, fellow graduates, teachers, parents, friends, family, and everyone in between. I want to thank my fellow alumni for bestowing upon me the great honor of valedictorian, a privilege I do not take lightly. Before I go any further, I'd like to thank a few people on behalf of my class. Firstly, I'd like to thank our teachers, those from kindergarten to this day. Without your patience and direction, we would not have found the passions we hold so dear to our hearts. We must also give a special appreciation to the larger staff of our school and school board, unsung heroes who, without their work, our schools would not be able to function. Most importantly, I'd like to thank our parents and guardians. With love and support, they are our role models, our drive, maybe a thorn in our sides, but they have always focused on making sure we go on to do incredible things. They never let us forget the importance of our education, making us understand that knowledge is power. Finally, I want to thank many others who have helped us develop on our journeys, the ones who may not be in our lives anymore, or the ones who keep us grounded. While I don't have time to thank you all, know we appreciate you. So now, let me point out the sad truth we all know. COVID-19 has affected all of us. There have been lost opportunities, distance from family and friends, loneliness in its most unpleasant form, and loss of loved ones during this pandemic. It has been a very testing time for us specifically. When we, the next generation, look out into the world, not many things seem to be going our way. Houses cost more than ever before. Societal inequalities continue to muddle any sign of genuine progress. Misinformation triumphs over truth, and environmental issues lack the concern they deserve. I can name a bountiful amount of other obstacles that have taken root in front of a generation. Yet so many of these issues could easily be fixed with simple cooperation and focus towards a common good. Somehow this seems to be a radical idea, to put aside differences and, if I can paraphrase a former US president, ask not what others can do for you, but ask what you can do for others. I'm not saying this means we need to form a utopia of sorts, but it's not impossible at all for us to look at a new idea and go forward with discussion and not divisive argument. It is impossible to agree to disagree, yet still work together. It is impossible because it has been shown time and time again to work. I look again to this current time, a massive pandemic that has crashed upon us like a ton of bricks. While it has been pressing, to me, it also shows us an opportunity. Problems never talked about have been hitting mainstream airways over the past 16 months or so. Problems that will not go away with a vaccine rollout and a return to everyday life. We have to continue to remind our current leadership that these are issues society must address. In many regards, our generation has been doing this, looking to inform others about major situations, inspire good trouble for change through social media, and increasingly exercising our civil responsibilities. Maybe some of us go a bit too far, and I can't blame others for calling us the generation out to save the world. We were the ones who skipped school to demand environmental justice downtown after all, but our hearts are in the right place. I take a step back though and realize that other generations are granted this exact same title, then seem to shed it as they go on to become the establishment. That doesn't sit right with me. Gen Z must become definitive champions of change. We must do this so when we as a generation take the responsibility of leading, we can set a strong example for future generations. We have proven that societal issues matter to us, that fairness, respect, and pride in community is what will push us forward. COVID-19 may have hurt us in ways we'll be figuring out for decades to come, but it has also given us a gift to make deep-rooted change so that we, those we love, and those we don't know, can live in a world driven by decency instead of division. And we need to start now. From the fellow teens I have met and conversed with, it is clear that our ideas are diverse. We are no monolithic group. However, what matters most is apparent. And looking at our graduating class, a class of people from all creeds and corners of this earth, we have more than enough potential to lead and more than enough potential to build a better world. So why did I start this with a quote from St. Francis of Assisi? Well, it is simple. We can be the ones who bring truth when there is error. We can be the generation where we bring faith when there is doubt. We can be the kids who bring hope when there is despair. We can be the ones who bring light when our outlook is abounding in darkness. With that said, folks, I say thank you for listening. Good luck with your plans. And wherever you go on your journey, never apologize for what you believe in. And as the Sir motto says, strive for the highest.
So I hope as you move forward past high school, into your summer, into your fall, and whatever awaits you, that you'll remember to be kind and compassionate with each other, that you'll remember to take what you've learned from high school and apply it in your lives with your friends and with your family and with your community, and that you'll be able to move forward in a way that is good. And remember, everybody has a different path. There are so many options and so many places to go. And don't be afraid to take your own path. And don't be worried if your path doesn't take you directly where you want to go, because sometimes if you take a right instead of a left, or you zig where you should have zagged, or maybe you shouldn't have zagged, maybe you should have zigged, it brings you to a place where surprises can happen and good things can happen. So I encourage you to not be afraid of that, to look forward with confidence and knowing that wherever life takes you, you'll be able to handle it. I mean, you managed to graduate during a pandemic. That's pretty amazing. So I'd like to close this space with just a few words to the Creator. Kachimigwich Jemnido, we are grateful for the rivers, for the streams, for the lakes, for all the waters, and for everything you've put in our homeland. We are grateful for the medicines and the ceremonies. We are grateful for the fish and the animals and the birds and the good human beings. We are grateful for all the gifts that you have given us, and we ask that you help us use those gifts in a way that is beneficial to our families and our friends and to our communities. We ask that you help us reach the wisdom of our ancestors so that we can take that and use it in our lives and use it to help us fulfill our responsibilities. We remember those friends and family who are ill or suffering from addictions and hope that they come back to us soon, and hope that they have a good day today, and that they are able to be once again role models and mentors in our communities. And we ask that you help us live up to our responsibilities, to live a life full of respect for all living things. Kachimigwich, 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 Kachimigwich. Thank you very much, and congratulations.